This is a third grade reading lesson, and I just want to preface by saying this would be day 2 in kind of like the lesson plan. So in my class, I would have already read them the story, and this would be our second read where we're really kind of getting deeper into the text. So I'm going to be reading chunks of the book, so in my real classroom, they would have already understood a lot of the characters, but we're going to get deeper into it. So my learning target is, and you're going to repeat after me when I motion to you, I can make inferences about a character. Thank you. So our verb here is infer, and to infer, that means you're going to conclude from evidence and reasoning. So authors, in their writing, they give us different clues that makes us understand what the character is like. And they give us clues by telling us what the character is thinking, what they say, what they do, and what they feel. So it's going to be our job as good readers to make inferences based off of that evidence. All right? So as I read, I'm going to be going over some important vocabulary, and I'm going to point those out to help you better understand the text or just make you familiar with some more unfamiliar words. I'll also be stopping to ask you what inferences you can make about our main character, Lily, where you'll turn and talk to your partner. And I want you to use the sentence frame, I infer, and then you'll tell us because. I infer, because, and then cite that evidence. What did the author tell us? What clue did they give us? All right. So the text is Julius, the Baby of the World by Kevin Hankus. Lily had to share her room with Julius. After Julius goes away, do I get my room back? She asked. Julius isn't going anywhere, said Lily's mother. And he didn't. He stayed and stayed and stayed. Lily was supposed to be very quiet while Julius slept. After Julius goes away, can I talk like a normal person again? She shouted. Julius isn't going anywhere, said Lily's father. And he didn't. He stayed and stayed and stayed. We want Julius to grow up to be as extraordinary as you, said Lily's mother. So we must tell him constantly how beautiful he is and how much we love him. And in the top illustration it says, we love you, Julius. You're beautiful, Julius. When no one was looking, Lily had her own idea. I hate you. You're ugly. We want Julius to grow up to be as clever as you, said Lily's father. So we must sing him his numbers and his letters whenever possible. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When no one was looking, Lily had her own idea. 3, 8, 1, 5, 9, 6. A, J, K, Z, B, S, C, H. Lily's parents were more than a bit doubtful about leaving the two of them alone together. Lily tried to frighten Julius with her nifty disguises. And nifty means really good or creative. With her nifty disguises. She learned magic and tried to make him disappear. When that didn't work, she simply pretended that he didn't exist. Lily spent more time than usual in the uncooperative chair. So I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to model making that inference. So I can infer that Lily is smart because the author told us that she made nifty or good and creative costumes. So I would infer that Lily is smart. On the other hand, Lily used those costumes to trick her brother or make her brother really upset. So I would say that Lily can also be mischievous. And this that I'm writing on is called a character web. So we're focusing on our main character, Lily, and we're going to be adding our own inferences as we read along. So the next time I stop, you'll be turning and talking to your partner and adding to your own character web. So we're going to skip ahead in the story. Lily's parents were amused when Julius blew a bubble. "Can you believe it?" they exclaimed. But if Lily did the exact same thing, they said, "Lily, let's mind our manners, please." Lily's parents were dazzled. Dazzled means amazed. Lily's parents were dazzled when Julius babbled and gurgled. "Such a vocabulary," they exclaimed. But if Lily did the exact same thing, they said, "Lily, let's act our age, please." Lily's parents were amazed when Julius screamed. "What lung capacity," they exclaimed. But if Lily did the exact same thing, they said, "Lily, let's restrain ourselves, please." And restrain means control. "Lily, let's restrain ourselves, please." One morning, while Lily was busy playing opera, her mother said, "Why don't you use some of that verbal exuberance," which means loud, cheerful, talking or singing. "Why don't you use some of that verbal exuberance to good use? Why don't you tell Julius a nice story?" "He's too little to understand a story," said Lily. "He can understand it in his own way," said Lily's mother. "Okay," said Lily, smiling. "Julius, the germ of the world, by me," said Lily. "Once upon a time," said Lily, "there was a baby. His name was Julius. Julius was really a germ. Julius was like dust under your bed. If he was a number, he would be 0. If he was a food, he would be a raisin. 0 is nothing. A raisin tastes like dirt." "The end," said Lily. The story earned her 10 minutes in the uncooperative chair. Okay, so I want you to think, based on what we've read, what can we infer about Lily from this part of the story? And you're using the sentence frame, "I infer Lily, because, So you're going to turn and talk to your partner, and I'll put up a quiet hand when I'm going to wrap everyone up. If you could help me out by also putting up your hands, and then we'll share them out. Go ahead.
Sure.
That Lily is jealous because her parents are paying attention to Julius.
I infer Lily likes the uncooperative chair because she's in it a lot. She doesn't seem to mind it, at least. I infer Lily likes to play dress up, or has a big imagination because she likes to play dress up. There, okay.
Thank you. So what inferences can we make about Lily? What can we infer about her? Yeah, thank you.
I infer that Lily is creative because she created a whole song in like 30 seconds
Thank you.
with a warm.
Do you agree? Is Lily creative, or do you have a different inference for Lily?
I can infer that Lily is bitter because she's mean to her mother throughout the whole book so far.
All right. We'll continue on. What time am I at?
You're at about 10 minutes.
Okay. When Lily's mother felt up to it, she planned a festive celebration in honor of Julius. All the relatives came. there was quite a spread. "What's the big deal?" said Lily. "Haven't they all seen a silly lump before?" Apparently not. All afternoon, the relatives hovered over Julius. They kissed his wet pink nose, they admired his small black eyes, and they stroked his sweet white fur. "Disgusting," said Cousin Garland. "What?" said Lily. "Julius," said Cousin Garland. "I think his wet pink nose is slimy. I think his small black eyes are beady. And I think his sweet white fur is not so sweet. He needs his diaper changed." Lily's nose twitched. Her eyes narrowed. Her fur stood on end, and her tail quivered. And quivered means trembled or twitched. Her tail quivered. "You're talking about my brother," said Lily. "And for your information, his nose is shiny, his eyes are sparkly, and his fur smells like perfume." Cousin Garland was speechless. "He can blow bubbles," continued Lily. "He can babble and gurgle, and he can scream better than anyone." Cousin Garland tried to slink out of the room. "Stop," said Lily. "I am the queen. Watch me closely." Lily picked up Julius. She kissed his wet pink nose. She admired his small black eyes, and she stroked his sweet white fur. "Your turn," said Lily, handing Julius over to Cousin Garland. "Kiss, admire, stroke," Lily commanded. "Now repeat after me," said Lily. "Julius is the baby of the world." "Julius is the baby of the world," said Cousin Garland. "Louder," said Lily. "Julius is the baby of the world." So now, I want you to think, what can you infer now about Lily, citing the evidence from the text? Turn to your partner.
But still.
We said that. What did I say? I'm going blank now with the video in my face.
All right. What inferences can we make about Lily for this part of the story?
Yeah, I can infer that she actually loves her brother and cares about him because she stood up for him. She stood up for him.
Yeah.
They're great.
Thank you. So that's a follow-up question I have then. How has she changed throughout the story? From the beginning to the end, our inferences shifted a bit. Lauren.
She started off really jealous of her little brother and then became really protective of him by the end of the story.
And, what evidence led you to that?
First, she was making up mean songs about him and saying mean things to him. And then by the end, she was standing up to Cousin Garland and defending how great her baby brother was when the cousin was insulting him.
Thank you.